I'm James. Tonight I'm going to be cooking you a chicken sandwich with caramelized apples and onions and some mascarpone cheese. Tonight's ingredients are going to be, we're going to use a yellow onion, lemon, apple, some sugar, 3 sub rolls, some mascarpone cheese, olive oil, salt and pepper, and chicken breast. Simple as fast. Alright, first things first, we're going to cut up our onion. Just kind of give it a rough chop, nothing special. This is a skinned apple. I've already skinned it, and a little trick to let you know, so that way in the long run, when you're cutting before you want to use this, take some vitamin C, about 500 milligrams. If you mash it with your knife and throw it into the bowl, which I have done here, it will actually stop your vegetable and fruits from browning. We're going to give this a chop all the way around. Discard. And do the same exact chop that you would with the onions beforehand. Now, you don't have to move as fast as me. I'm moving fast because I have a short amount of time. From here, I'm going to take my onions. I've got a very hot pan here. It's been sitting for a while. You can tell by the ripples in the oil, if you can see it right now, that it's extremely hot. So when I put it in, it should sound like this. You can hear it sizzling. Give it a few quick stirs, and then let it sit. What I like to do to make the caramel effect work is to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of sugar right in with it. That'll start to caramelize, and it'll actually help brown the onions a little bit faster and give them a sweet texture. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our lemon and our mascarpone cheese. We're actually going to squeeze the lemon into the mascarpone, just like that. Discard. Salt and pepper. Give that a stir. Now this is just, mascarpone's actually kind of sweet anyway. It's a really good cheese. You add some salt and pepper and some lemon juice to it, it's going to make it even better. And what I'm using right now is actually a Meyer lemon from our last episode. So it's kind of funny. The next thing is the chicken. The last time I showed you with salmon got a lot of salt and a lot of pepper. Chicken, you don't need that. You just need to give it a little bit of salt right on the top, a little bit of pepper on top. Now I've got an oven on that's set to 375 degrees right now. I'm just going to pop this into that. We'll let that cook for a little bit, for about 15-20 minutes, and then we'll be good on cooking. Go back to our onions. Turn up the heat on them. I'm going to take my apples now. You can pretty much put them in at the same time. You don't allow the apples won't turn to mush, as long as you just keep rotating them and rotating them, rotating them. Right now I'm just going to let them sit in with the sugar and the onions just to catch some flavor. And right before we eat, we're actually going to put the bread in. Check on my mascarpone, give it a little taste. Just a little salt. Probably a dash more pepper. Over to my caramelized onions and apples. If you can see, I'm just starting to get a little bit of coloration on the onions, which is actually really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some salt to it. Most chefs won't tell you to do this, but I like to do it anyway ahead of time, because salt absorbs moisture. So when you take the moisture out of the pan, you're going to make the vegetables and the fruits cook faster. And it's not going to ruin them in any way. It's not going to overseason them in any way. They're already sweet. Onions have really no flavor other than heat, so you're just helping them out. A little pepper. A couple more stirs. Alright, chicken. chicken after a couple minutes of cooking in the oven. I like oven baked more than sauteed for this. It maintains the flavor, whereas if you sear something, it won't lock in flavor. It'll actually overcook sometimes. And if you cut it up and cook it into it, you're definitely going to get a different texture than you would if it was baked. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let that sit out for a couple minutes before cutting to let the juices lock inside. You can see now again, my apples are starting to get colored. As long as we keep them rotating, the apples and the onions will start to color on their own. And it's actually, the onions are starting to get soft now, which means that they're going to end up, in the long run, browning faster due to that salt. Do a little cleanup time here. Oh, an important thing. The best thing a cook will ever tell you is clean as you go along. As long as you clean as you go along, time moves fast. And your meal gets done even faster and you have less dishes to clean up. I'm a fan of that. Another thing I like to do is when I start to get enough color on it, I like to add a little water to my pan. Whatever juices are left over are actually going to sink into the actual apples and onions. 2 minutes is generally all you need for letting your chicken settle. So we'll take our chicken and we'll cut it on a bias, just like so. If you watch my knife, most people cut into it like this. Instead, I'm going to cut into it like this. And that way you get thinner pieces, and it's going to be easier to lay flat on a piece of bread. Alright, next move. Get the bread out. You just want the bread to be toasted. Nothing burnt. No burnt. People don't like burnt bread. Burnt is not a flavor I appreciate. So I don't assume that you would either. So just for our reasons for the time of the show, mascarpone cheese. Lay it on. And just smooth it out. It's actually going to melt with the chicken. As soon as it hits the chicken and the caramelized apples and stuff, it's going to be good. Actually, spatula. Grab some, just enough to fill the top of the bun. Apples, onions. Good there. Chicken. There you go. It's your sandwich.